can't help but bob your head when you hear that music. You can't. You can help but just get.
I know. I was just fixing to send a message here to Charlie. He had put up he likes the intro
Yeah,
harmonic, and I was
harmonic.
typing and I looked up and the music was going off. Although I'm behind here. Hey everyone, hello. It's a beautiful morning, afternoon, you might say, morning for some. I don't know. Heck, I just know it's Monday. How about you, Randy?
It's a great Monday. Yeah, yeah, good Monday. Beautiful weather and good news from the couple doctors today. So I'm real happy.
That's good. And this is Santa, or as he likes to put it, Randall Santa Checker Lee. I just call him Santa myself. Sometimes Randy. Heck, we all know him as the greatest magician on earth. The
I've been
show.
I've been called a lot worse than all three of those things. I have. I've been called a lot worse than all those. So it's fine
We'll
with me.
start calling you Mr.
As long as you
Showtime.
call me, that's all that matters. I love being called. I
Just don't
do, I
call you
do, I
do the
do.
dishes,
Good to
right,
see you,
brother?
Bob. Hello, Angela, back there. Good to see everybody on here. Welcome. It's
Yes.
Monday, and it's almost it's the first week in May. Crazy already. Crazy. Where is time going? Next month, year half over.
It's unbelievable how quick time gets away now. And it's not that we're not busy. I know you're busy. I'm busy. We're all busy. When you're a kiddo, stayed busy, but it just seemed like time just stretched out. Where now it just clicks right on off.
The only time went quick when you were a kid was vacation and summertime. That was the only thing that went fast. No school. Then it was like, wait a minute, summer's gone already. But then the rest
That,
of the year went by real
that
slow.
is so true, Randy. It really is. Yes, sir. Well, let's say hi to some folks. We got Sal in Delicado, and I got it right. It was an enjoyable time in Memphis last weekend. I got to sit and chat with Sal for a little bit. Had him on our live that we did. Of course, Charlie Johnson, I mentioned earlier, is on with us. Carl White. Who else we got, Randy? Did I miss anybody here?
I don't think right at the moment. Yeah, just no. Yeah, we'll get. Oh, here. Mike's here from Canada. Mike Hutchinson is from Canada. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, everybody's coming on. It's like you said. You said morning, so I think that's what threw them off. I think that's what threw them off.
Well, I did get up early this morning, as I was explaining to you. I had to get up and take care of some stuff this morning, and I did take a nap though, and so that's why I'm confused. I was up early morning, up early afternoon. I don't know. I mean, just a quick wink or two just to hold me over, and I'm better now that I've had my coffee and had a shower. It's cloudy here today. It's had 4.5 inches of rain night before last. This is the fifth or fourth wettest spring in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area. And every time they say that, I think, well, boy, there's been lots of rainy years. I can remember a couple of years when I was racing cars. We got rained out every weekend for like 2.5 months. It seemed like, and them dirt tracks turn into water hose and mud hose, and you can't race on them. So, but the thing about it is it hasn't rained a lot of consecutive days. It just pours when it does, and it adds up quick. So, I think that's the difference.
Yeah, that's what gets me down there with you guys. You get that crazy rain and then you go for weeks or months without any and you get the drought problem. It just you can't get that happy medium in there. So
No, and we always seem to be plus in the plus column, midway through the year, and then we fall behind towards the second half because again, like you said, it just dries up and you kind of starts at the end of June, July, August, September. It's usually those first few cool fronts or cold fronts that come sneaking in here in October or so when we start getting rain again, and by then we're so far behind that we don't catch up. So I want to say hi to Santa Mel. Love you, sister.
yeah, we
AJ's
got
on with us today. Deborah Kaiser's on with us. Randy got Bill Gorbett also
yeah,
joining us. And we'll say hi
got
to all those folks. And we
Sandy's
just want
here and I know somebody else I saw. Bill, yep. Deborah, yeah, good. AJ.
we just want everyone to know how much we appreciate. I mean, truly appreciate you guys coming on and listening to me and Randy yap on here every Monday. We have fun with it. We hope that you're getting something from it, not just coming on here to laugh at us. But I mean, if you are, it's okay. We laugh at ourselves too, right?
Have to. And we're kind of used to it anyway. It's when you're this funny looking, you just don't. Might as well, go ahead, go ahead.
might, might as well just go ahead and cackle like a hen, right?
That's all
Hey, who
you
knows?
do.
We may lay an egg. All
Yeah.
right, so for those who joined us last Tuesday night, we had to come up with some new trivia rules, which was effective April 29th. And I know Randy watched. I didn't mention this to you beforehand, Randy, but I just want to run over these revisions that we made to our trivia rules. Uh, First off, it's a contest and it's a skill-based promotion with winners chosen by merit. We must say that. Must be 18 years of older to play, live in the USA. No purchase necessary to play, enter, or win. The revisions is we only have one entry and one winner per household per game. That means that you can't use multiple devices to play. Just one person in the household can play. We don't want any copy and paste. We only need the answers asked for. If it's blanks, we just want the answers that fill in the blanks. Uh, it's got too hard for Angela to keep up with the books that some of the guys have been copying and pasting in. She has to dig through all that while watching other comments, and I know you've heard me mention it time and time again, and Randy can attest to this, but our column just scrolls up really quick with all the comments coming in, and you have to try to force it back down, and just you get it where you want to start reading again, it jumps again, and it's really gotten hard to try to decipher through everything and come up with winners. So, and we've had to extend the timeout. Now, this was per request by uh, several people, including one of our giveaways uh, that help give away the trivia prizes. That we extend our winners after 6 weeks, which is 42 days. You go in timeout for 42 days. It used to be 30. Now we've gone to 42. This is going to give everyone else a little bit of a chance to play. We've had folks that try really hard week in and week out and just doesn't seem to come up with the answer or get it
Or just
in the
not
box
not
quick
as
enough.
fast of a typer sometimes, and that
You know,
we want everybody to be fair about getting a chance to win. So
I want to give everybody the opportunity. Now,
yeah,
something that Scarlett told us in our live that we did from Memphis was that they've started keeping track of the winners also, and that's where part of this comes from. We had a number of guys that were winning a lot, and that's okay if you're good enough to win. You're good enough to win, and everybody loves a winner, right? But they've had to keep track of what they're sending so that they don't send the same old present to the same old guys over and over and over. And so we just want everyone to be patient with Angela. She's got a lot going on over there, and sometimes staying caught up on these trivia's is a little bit of a chore. So this is going to simplify it for her, we hope. And it seemed to have last Tuesday night, so we'll see how it goes going forward. But thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. It's just going to make the game better for everyone. Jessica Rose is on with us today. Hi, Jessica. How are you, dear? All right. I agree, Mel. Says Angela is the best. We couldn't do this show without her. She is the most valuable piece to the puzzle here. All
yes,
right, Randy.
yes, yes,
How's
yes.
the weather where you're at? I talked about my weather. How's yours?
Actually, it's been beautiful. A little cool at night, not bad. Get into the 50s and up in the 60s, 70s during the day. Last Saturday was 80, so that was just a peak that one day. But we're supposed to have crazy storms tomorrow. But I tell you, I it's been a pretty lucky year. Only a few days of that crazy. Oh, I can't say that four-letter word on here. That SNOW word. I can't say that four-letter word. SNOW. That's a four-letter word. So I don't want to say that word again. Gives me the chills. No pun intended.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that because I watch some YouTube when I get a few minutes. If I need to just step away from the computer for a minute, I'll go in and pick a short program, watch it, and then come back. Back to work. There's a show a couple that I watch that's in northern Idaho, and another one that's in southern Canada, just on the other side of the same mountain range from Idaho. And they both got snow this week, and I'm thinking, wow. But you did mention that it still happens up there in your neck of the woods
Yeah,
sometimes.
I did a Mother's Day a couple times. I've done Mother's Day, and there was snow coming down. So that's coming up real soon. This Sunday's Mother's Day. Hint, 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 guys. Sunday's Mother's Day. So don't forget mom, or the other one at home. So don't forget her. She's a mom. So hint, it's Mother's Day Sunday.
Absolutely. Hi, Rex. Rex has joined us. Good to see Rex on today.
Ernie's on. Good to see you,
Ernie's
Ernie.
on.
Great to see everybody. I'm glad.
Good,
Great.
good crowd going here. All right,
Good.
Randy, are you ready to let's dive off into this cheesy
Let's do it.
something burger?
Yeah, boy. I always
It's gonna
wait
be a
every
hot
Monday for that
topic, I'm telling you.
big burger.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Now, this is a good question here that Randy has for you this week. It's one that many of us have struggled with time and time again. If you sit in a chair or if you wear the red suit, uh, as Santa, Mrs. Claus, or even an elf, I'm sure Phineas can tell you stories also.
Are you reading it or am I just putting it up there like you did?
Just put it up on the screen for me if you can. We're going to put it up on the screen, Randy, and chat for a minute. And if you after we get it up there, we'll read
Oh,
it once or twice.
that question?
And this also helps equal the playing field by showing it at the bottom of the screen first. I think we've all got a seventh grade education, so we should be able to read it. And
Do the trivia question first. Is that
yeah, that's the trivia question.
all
Now let's
right?
go ahead and while that's up there, let everybody start working on that if they can. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into your something burger.
Cool. This question, like Bob said, is something that can affect Santa, Mrs. Claus, elves, anybody, and it sometimes can throw you off. How do you? Doesn't matter if you're Santa, Mrs. Claus, or an elf. Recompose yourself after a very touching. You get those tears in your eyes. You get that lump in your throat. A touching child. How do you recompose yourself for the next child that's a minute and a half or a minute away up there? Um, you've got a line of children and you just had a tearjerker. How do you recompose yourself quickly so the next child gets oh that jolly Santa or that smiling Mrs. Claus? How do you don't have time to go off stage, you can't do that. How do you do it in quick time to wipe the tears, get that voice back, get that smile back on? How do you get to become jolly again really, really quick? Just curious. It's a tough thing. I know it happens to each and every one of us. So we get those tear jerkers, and the next child can't feel our pain. They want to feel our happiness. So
Randy, back in the early start, and I know you've been doing it a lot longer than I have in the entertainment industry, but back when I started, this never crossed my mind. I never thought about this portion of being Santa that there would be these kind of things pop up, and but it's something that we deal with more often than we would like. I know a lot of times, of course, at the mall, I see so many children every year, and there's always going to be one or two, or sometimes three or more that kind of touches your heart. Now, I've told this story many a time, and I'll keep it short because I could really get into it, and we don't want to get long-winded here. But I had two back-to-back tearjerkers, and it was a tough situation. First one was tough enough, and then when I realized the second one was someone I just spoke to, and the little girl was terminally ill, and her wish was just to have a family picture with Santa. So between both visits, luckily at the time I had my old set where I had this giant Christmas tree, uh, probably 40 foot tall, and I don't know, probably 15, 18 feet wide at the base, and my chair set in front of it. And there was just enough room to go behind it and kind of, not be seen by anybody. Uh, went back there both times and tried to compose myself for 30 seconds, took a deep breath, said a prayer, came back out, and I explained to the next two or three couples that were waiting in line if they could just give me one moment. They said, you take all the time you need. We've been watching. We saw what was going on, to touching moment. So you take what time you need, and we're still going to be here when you're ready. So, I think most folks are passionate, have kindness and love in their heart, especially when it comes to children or the passing of someone close to a child. And so I've had others though. I didn't have that time in between, and I would just take a deep breath and kind of look up to the Lord and give me the strength. And here we go. How
That's
about you, Randy?
and that's about all I've been able to do. Sometimes you don't have the time to go behind that tree or to take a quick pause, but the next family doesn't, like I said, wants jolly Santa. They want the smile, they want the kidding, they want the teasing, and it's rough. And it sometimes is exactly what Bob said. I've done the same thing. Just take that deep breath. Lord, let me get through the next one. Please help me. And you got to say it in your mind, of course, because people don't want to hear it. And just it's it's like kind of we say it's showtime. We have to stop that. But I tell you, it is hard because I some of those ones that just like I mean, and then you don't want to have your I mean, there's been times that I get the watery eyes, and it just gets me. And so those have got to be, you got to do this a little bit quick before you talk to the next child going, why are you crying, Santa? You don't want them to see that. So, but and if there's, I wish there was a magical way of just kind of like stopping and starting, but there isn't because we're all human. We get touched by stories and things that happen, and it's hard to stop and start like that. But I don't know, maybe somebody out there has a cool thing to say or whatever. Besides, Lord, give me strength to get to the next one. I mean, that's been mine. If I don't have the time to a few minutes to recompose, that's all. That's it sometimes. So.
In the beginning, Randy, those first couple, when you're a newbie, I use that term loosely
Mhm.
because we've all got the talent
Right.
or we wouldn't be here. But in your first year or so, it's harder to overcome once you've experienced it a couple of times. You realize that we're professionals. We get paid good money to do what we do, and we're there to entertain the children, listen to the children, and as you have said elegantly, put smiles on those children's faces and warm their hearts. And so you look over at that next child in line and their enthusiasm, they're jumping and they're excited and they got that smile, and it's amazing how that overcomes you.
And because that's our responsibility then to be jolly and happy and bring their
That's right.
smiles to them. So
That's right. They
so
deserve
we
the
gotta
same.
yeah.
Yep, they deserve the same, professionalism that we give the other children, start to finish. All right, looks like Rex got a
Alrighty.
good.
Rex has got a good one. I have a hand signal I give to my elf that controls my line that tells them I need to get a second drink. They hold the line, take a swig, take a deep breath, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah,
It's just that
just
15,
clear,
30 seconds.
clear that mind. Put it
Yeah, to
behind
clear
you. Go
that
home.
mind.
Think
Yeah,
about it when you
and
get off or go home.
yeah, and if you just enough to break that thing, and the best thing to do is let them know you need a drink, and then that gives you a few seconds. And most people understand that, oh, Santa needs a drink. um Here we got here, Ernie says, good question. I will try to think of something funny that occurred and try to remember that. If you still have someone wondering, you can always say you have tears of joy seeing them again as for them. So I guess that could be a work. If you could next person go, oh, I was so excited that they're tears of joy, not tears of sadness.
Great
And
response, Ernie. Great
yeah,
response.
good one to say tears of happiness. Rex has got another good one. When the child sees the tears in my eyes or on my cheeks, they ask, why am I crying? I always say, because I'm so happy to see you. Um, I was worried about I was not going to get to see you this year. And that just took that child as good to see them to the way to the top of the list. And
Yeah, another
that's
great response.
great response. Great, great,
Uh,
great.
Sean had one just before that,
Whoops.
Randy.
And I know I got to get where's Sean? Sean. There we go. Um, I think quickly. Please give me the words and strength. I think quietly, excuse me. Please give me the words and the strength. Somehow it works. Lots of love and give comfort. And that's like we said, that's all I can do is give me the strength and to get through to the next one. That's and sometimes that's all it takes to break that. You've got to get that thought and that image out of your head for a moment. It's about what the child said to move on. Um, Mark says, I'm adopting Cuz Green Matra. Sorry, Cuz Green Matra? Cuz Green's Mantra.
Those cause, I don't
Be
know.
sorry, I apologize, Mark, for the bad
Popsicle,
pronunciation of all
popsicle.
that. Be less selfish, be more elfish. Just repeat and relax along with the meditative mantra. Um,
Got it.
gotcha. Okay, there we go. There we
Good job,
go.
Mark.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you need. Just and it seemed like just talking to your higher power for just a moment. What whoever that is, Lord, just and whatever your mantra might be, give me the strength, take me away from this, whatever it might be. Um, or like Rex said, get a drink, and that 15 seconds can make a big difference. And then it's like you get that smile back, and it's the next child is just as important and a bring. Um, unless you get like Bob did, like you said, two in a row, that can then that definitely gets you going, working.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean that's got to be. I mean that will probably never happen again,
yeah,
where you have
again,
two
yeah,
right back to back. Uh, just for those who didn't hear, I had a little girl wearing a mask. She was very young, very fragile. I went over and spoke to him. That's when the father told me that she was terminally ill and wasn't expected to live till Christmas. We was less than 2 weeks to Christmas at that point, and I got a tap on my shoulder from set manager. Had a lady in line had three grandchildren. They had just buried the grandchildren's mother, or the grandmother's daughter, 2 days prior to that. She wanted me to cheer the children up, so I did my best and cry with them and pray with them a little bit. Then I look up and the other couple was online pictures, and that's when they told me that her wish was to have pictures with her family in Santa before she went to be with Jesus. And pretty tough stuff, man. I'll tell you. I don't think it'll ever happen again back to back like that. But if it
yeah,
does,
yeah.
I won't prepare. You know, Randy, the way I looked at that exact scenario was at that time, at that place, at that moment in time, the Lord sent both those families to me. And I just hope that I did enough. I just hope I said enough. I hope that I was sincere enough, which I mean, gosh, I mean, when it touches your heart and tears start pouring, they're uncontrollable. It's you know, is it the best thing? They come to the first couple, the first three children come to get cheered up. Here I am crying with them. I don't know that I cheered them up, but I hope I said the right things about how much their mother was missing them and how proud she was of them, and
Right.
that the grandmother was going to need them also, or that they would all need each other going forward. And you just try to find the right words and hope that it was enough.
And it sounds like the child's going to get what she wants by getting a picture with Santa. And that's what you know. That's
Okay, so what Mark was talking about was in Memphis. There was a vendor's booth just down from us, and it was Cos Green who wrote a book called Through Santa's Eyes, and that mantra is the subtitle: "Be less selfish, be more elfish." I did get one of the coins, Mark and Charlie, that came along with that. Was given to me, gifted to me, and I went down. I didn't get a chance to interview those folks again with all the problems that we were having. And but that was a booth that a lot of people. I seen a lot of people down there around that booth.
wow, wow. See, that's nice. Then Mark said, I had my first visit with a terminally ill child this past Christmas. It was a moving visit for all of us. I left home with a hug from all of them, whispered a prayer in the parents' eyes, and departed. And that's about all you. That's what you've got to do for them. That's what you've got to do. Whatever you can from the heart to the parent to the child. That's what we all do anyway to bring that smile and hope and love to the families. I just was sometimes it gets to me emotionally. So to get that, I mean, I can change and I can be an actor, but you're still a little hesitant to that next child, but you don't want to. I don't want to be, because that next child deserves pure love and joy coming out of me, even though I'm upset from the last people. So that's was the if there was something cool to do besides what I've been trying to do.
Now, this is the show about nothing with a whole lot of something. This is the something we're talking about. We take a topic, a hot topic as we consider it, and we put that question out there, and you guys, your responses are
Yeah.
spot on. I hope that if you're new or if you've had trouble in the past, that this will help you by seeing what others have done. Again, we can't go out and watch a brother or sister perform, and we don't know how they answer those questions because it's between the families and them. This opens up the door and allows others to see how each one of us respond and how we deal with these things. And this is what I love about this show.
Yeah, I just think of this as kind of like a weekly roundtable, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
questions up and questions and answers,
that's exactly what it is, Randy. That's
and
a
then
good
get the
analysis.
people, everybody's, there's so many talented people out there, knowledgeable and experiences that, so that's what, again, thank you for always the participation. I can't thank everybody enough. We got always, again, a great crowd on here on Monday. Thank you. I see Diane's here. Hi, Diane. Vin, good to see you. Vin, sorry. Vin, I always pronounce. I apologize, Diane. One of these days you're gonna
In,
Vin.
be in, like the end, but be in.
She actually, I remember she
Uh,
sent me she sent me the it once to my saying this is how you pronounce it, and uh but
All right, so
too thick up there for some reason, Diane. I'm sorry.
back
Um,
to the subject we were talking about. There's no wrong answer.
no.
Every answer, every response, every way, different way that each of us handle something, there's no wrong answer there. We're all doing what is in our capacity at that moment, at that second, in time to deal with these things. And again, the round table portion of it is so valuable.
I
Sean
see.
has another one there for you.
Yep says Sean says, stay in character and love them through that. Separation from truth helps, self helps. Unfortunately, the thoughts and feelings linger in us longer, which is, yeah, and that's the way it is. Luckily, groups like this can help offer deals to help with our emotions. And that's, again, thank you, Sean, is right. That's, yeah, how do you deal with that I mean, it can be a tearjerker. You can just, I mean, it can, uh, but then you've got to change it. And but thank goodness we know we have to, and we know the next child comes up there and they're just laughing and smiling, and they got their arms up to hug, and they're excited, and thank goodness then they bring that back to us. They bring that love and joy back to us, and then we can be Mrs. Claus, Elf, whoever we're at that time. We can take that and then give it back to them because they just gave it to us for helping us after a rough person before, or a touching.
So true.
I shouldn't say
So
rough,
true.
touching.
So on a lighter note, AJ, yes, he writes, Bob said it wrong, talking about Diane being.
Okay.
Said it wrong in Branson, and Diane corrected him. I thought she was going to snatch my ear off, AJ. She kind of scared me, that look she gave me.
Uh, hey Scott, good to see you. Glad you're here. It was great spending the weekend with you too at Santa Ana U. Scott Becker from Ohio. There, we spent time. He sat in front of me at over the weekend at Santa Ana U up in Birch Run, and he was actually in my group of that we did stuff together. And remember, five was I'm five, Bobby. It's a joke from the show, from the class.
Hey, Scott
uh,
and Darcy, have a scoop for me, my friends.
good old. Say hi to Darcy. I'm sure you guys got home safe yesterday.
That's right. Enjoy your ice cream, but get home safe. All right, Randy, you ready to move along? And let's go
Yeah,
ahead.
got another great question coming up, guys. As always, Bob's got a good
Well,
one.
again, sometimes my questions are more about making you think than actual scenarios, but this is just a thought. As a clause, are you a critical thinker? Do you form your own opinion about a particular clause subject, or do you hear and read something that others may say or post on social media and run with that narrative? Again, do you attend a workshop or a school and just because you hear yada yada, take it to heart? Have you heard others speak about a topic you did not attend and regurgitate their speaking points without question? This is just my curiosity, just wanting to know. Uh, Sometimes I read stuff that sounds like one person said it, the next person comes along and just writes it, and they just go on and on and on about the same thing, not really saying a whole lot of anything, a whole lot of yada yada. And just wondered, for me, I'm the type that likes to research stuff. If somebody says something, I go see if I can dig deeper. I try to be informed and make an informed decision whether or not this particular subject's worth promoting or this particular school is worth promoting. Did you really take anything from this class, or are you just repeating what you heard or saw? Have you even been to that class or that workshop? And this all kind of goes back to the weekend in Memphis. So many great workshops, and there was a lot of buzz around those workshops. One of the things that changed this year at the ISC was they had limited space in the past for those workshops. I remember one of the workshops that I was involved with in Denver back in 2018. Our room only held 50 people, and we had more than that wanting in. They were standing outside trying to get in, and fire marshal rule was 50 per room.
Yeah.
They had one larger room that held over 100, but it was limited accessibility for only the top of the top workshops. So this time it was unlimited, though. As many people could fit in those rooms wanted to go, they went. And but there was a lot of buzz around those workshops, and I just wondered, did you really go check that workshop out? Did you hear something and went? Because most of the workshops they had more than one day of presentation, sometimes different subjects, sometimes the same. Just my curiosity. Just wondering where our way of thinking in all is here in the class community.
Got some good things
All
coming.
right,
I mean,
let's.
I definitely got to investigate after, especially if you weren't at it and you heard something secondhand. Definitely investigate. You have to do that, and so I don't know.
Like I said, I'm the kind of guy that goes and reads the reviews and deciphers through them and tries to. And this is particularly important, like when you're booking a room, a hotel. You may pick through three or four good ones, and then you'll see a couple of bad, and you're thinking, well, which is it? Then you think, well, this person had a bad experience, this person didn't. Is it worth staying at this hotel because this particular person said they weren't happy, but these three people were? And it's just, I don't know, just something I was thinking about after the workshops this last week in Memphis, and wondering where everybody's mind and thoughts were on that.
Sometimes some of those
Uh,
things can be personal opinions too that are just not. They weren't happy because the room was cold at the time and the class was fine, but the class wasn't that good. But all they were was cold. But
yeah,
that's
well,
overpowered at the moment. So you gotta.
and in the class community, we don't talk politics, but you see that in politics a lot too. Just because someone doesn't like this person or doesn't
Yeah.
like that person, they're going to let those feelings overcome what's best for the nation. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get in too deep here because there's
Yeah, then it becomes a personal thing and not a professional thing. And um,
all
I'm
fits
I'm
under the
I'm
same
sure,
umbrella.
like I said, I had a great time over the weekend at the Santa Ana U, and there was, as far as I'm concerned, it was a great weekend. I know some people were talking about this and that. It's like, no, it's just that didn't change my feeling about how nice the weekend was with everybody. You know,
Take
it
what
had to
you
do with the
like.
hotel, so it had nothing to do with Santa Ana U. It had to do with the hotel,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that for some reason overpowered, the the whole thing. So on some people, not everybody, just a few. So, but you gotta then investigate a little bit more about what happened, and so. Yep, I'll let you read, Bob. I'm sorry, I'm yapping.
No. Take what you like and throw away the rest. That's the way I always look at it. Mark Rector says, no, you have to study it, see if it makes sense. If it doesn't pass the sniff test and the common sense test, then just pocket it away from thought later. You have to be a melting pot. Very true, Mark. Wisely said. Charlie Johnson says, I take everything I hear at schools through networking, etc., and form my own opinion and thoughts on how to be Santa. It all boils down to being kind and compassionate to all. Good point. AJ's wishing Scott and Darcy will be at the next gathering in Akron. Sal says, I listen to what others say, but if I'm not sure about something, research it. Very, very good. Santa Scott's on with us. He says, hey there, you guys. Hello there, brother. Everett Prostrollo. Hello, Everett. Checking in. Good to see you, my brother. Sean White says, critical thinkers here. Always creating curriculum is all about being creative, using learning at schools helped me to develop my own creativity into unique stuff. And Sean, thank you. And thank you for all the good things that you have said about North Pole Cornerstones. I know you've been a staunch supporter after attending this last year. And this is kind of some of the stuff I'm talking about. I know that people will listen and say, well, if Sean liked it, surely I'll like it. And, so thank you so much for that. And we should have a announcement coming up soon on 2025 North Pole Cornerstones. Jessica Rosen says, I try to approach each learning opportunity with curiosity and not judgment. Great point, Jessica. Very good.
You missed one up there.
Did I?
Yeah, it was
Who was it?
oh. Doug Wright.
Doug says, more a critical thinker, but always open to borrowing an idea. Now, for those who was in Memphis, I hope you went to Doug and Diane's home visit seminar, class, workshop, whatever you want to call it. They have presented at my St. Bob's class the last 2 years, and everybody walks out of there with even if you've done home visits for 10 or 15 years, you still walk out with a sense of really feeling good about what Doug and his wife does, because they do their home visits are uh, built around the props that they use, the stories that they tell, and the way that they present those to the children and families. And it's top notch. You get a chance to go see Doug and Diane do their workshop or talk, please do. It's well worth the time. Mike says, let's see here. No, Sandy Garland says, I agree with Jessica. Open for new points of view always. Yes, you got to stay open minded, but at the same time, you can't be influenced by the shiny object being waved in front of your face. Again, Randy.
Yeah, where is it here? Where is it? Yeah, I get it. Yeah. That's our
We're not,
shiny
we're
object, the
not waving
free
any shiny
object.
objects in front of your face except this 4-letter word. It's one of Randy and Charlie Johnson's and Michael Howe and Herbie the Elf's favorite words. Go ahead, Randy.
It's the favorite F word, free, free, and free. There's no shiny object behind it. It's just all free from us to you. So
Sorry, Sandy. That just opened up a can of worms.
Sandy was there over the weekend, and she heard the free word quite a few times.
I bet she did. I bet she did. Because I know how you guys are. All right, Mike Hutchins says, I approach new information with critical thinking. I take notes, review them, and see if and how I can apply them. If there's something that doesn't sit right with me, I do further research out of curiosity and trying to understand a different point of view. Again, Mike was in San Antonio with us at North Pole Cornerstones this last February, and everyone who attended got a chance to have input, to be an influencer, to be critical thinkers. Our breakout sessions was a new approach to teaching. And thank you, Mike, for all the good things you've said about North Pole Cornerstones too. I know this is not about Cornerstones, but when I see you guys' names, I just think back in February and how special that first class was, and how you guys were the ones that made it special. Scott Sheridan says, just wanted to let everyone, the contract is signed for San Antonio 2025. As I said, there should be an announcement coming pretty quick on that. I think we've got one more meeting before we actually put out the dates and start registration. So if you're considering going, keep that in mind. Rex Ray says, I try not to repeat hearsay, but if I happen to let my audience know that is what is, and they should look into it deeper. Very good, Rex. Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's nothing wrong with hearing something and then going out and talking about it. But again, what I'm, saying is, uh, sometimes you can be misled by one person's experience compared to what you may experience. And that's kind of, again, where this all fell back on Memphis and some of the things that I was hearing coming out of the workshops, how wonderful most of them were. Uh, Scott Seriton, people are knocking at your door, buddy. They're gonna start kicking it in if you don't get them cards out. Ernie needs a clause card.
Me too.
Sandy Garland says, yes, I did hear the word a few times. And I can attest to what Rex says here. Rex is a researcher. If you've ever been involved with Rex in any fashion, as we were at North Pole Cornerstones, he was the one that was really, telling us research, research, research. He says, I spend many hours researching and gathering information for any workshop or classes I do. If I use others' material, I give credit. That you do, Rex. You did. Some of the material that we used at North Pole was material that you got permission and you did give credit. Also, Rex was adamant to all of us about rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal. Get your work together, and then fine tune that through rehearsal so that when you do your presentation, how smooth it comes out and how well uh, the final product is. Sean White says you did a great job in Texas. Learned so much. Thank you. Thank you again, Sean. Rex says thank you. Thank you, Rex, brother. You're top notch. You're one of those that I look up to often and always for advice. All right, looks like I think we've covered it all, Randy. We've gone into almost 45 minutes.
Fantastic, as always. Great, great, great feedback, great content. Them talking, and that's just wonderful. And that's just so cool. The contribution that we get on the show is thank you guys very much. Thank you.
It's priceless.
Don't get that anyplace else. I mean, you do when you go to weekends, but and it's all we know the word.
We have fun with that, don't we? All right, Angela, did we have a winner on the trivia yet?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and let's let Randy put it up. Let's let Randy read it one more time.
Alrighty, guys. Here's the question. Everybody, it's got a lot of those blanks. You need to answer 4 words. Is all it is 4 words, right? Yep. Blank is mentioned in more than blank song lyrics and titles, according to blank magazine, more than any other city in the world. Said the city is named after an ancient Egyptian city of the major river named the. That's an easy one. The last one everybody should know. The other one takes a little bit of time, but blank is mentioned in more than blank song lyrics and titles, according to blank magazine, more than any other city in the world. Said city is named after an ancient Egyptian city, the same name as which all lies along the major river named the blank. Named the blank. There we go.
And that last one is kind of tricky. You got to read it close or you'll get it mixed up with the first answer and think the wrong river. So be careful there. I know Charlie Johnson was really close. Is he the one that's
I mean, the number was off by just a little bit.
That's okay because the way that reads is more than, right?
Magazine was wrong.
Yeah. Charlie, you had everything that was acceptable except for the magazine. I think he put Rolling Stones, didn't he?
Yes.
That's what I was reading. Yeah, it's
On
not
the
Rolling
cover
Stones
of the
now.
Rolling Stones.
So check into that. We're going to let Angela go ahead and play our santascloset.org video here real quick and keep working on it. Somebody's got to win today.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live, the show about nothing. Season 3 of Bob Randyl and Company Live is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Darn it, Charlie, you're close, but you still got the magazine wrong, brother. Try again. Just get that right magazine. I got to tell you, sometimes when you're traveling down the highway, Randy, and you look off to the side, there's so much information along the side of the road,
Oh
isn't
yeah,
there?
as along the side of a highway, there's just, I mean, it's crazy what they do. It just
Always,
sometimes it
always.
covers the scenery a little bit, but
Yeah.
they've been there since there's been cars driving up and down the highway things, and it just
Two of the best out there is Bucky's and the Big Texan in Amarillo. Those are. And speaking of, they're building the largest Bucky's ever built in Amarillo right now. Will be open next year, and so then you're going to have not only the largest Bucky's, but then you also got the largest steakhouse. Have a winner?
Yeah.
how can Bucky's get any bigger? How can Bucky's get any bigger? I don't know.
There was some pictures posted on Facebook this week of the building is almost completely up. They're working on the facade now, and what else they going to put in? They got every darn thing there is to have now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, man. And that last clue pushed Charlie right over the top.
Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah.
That's
So,
all right.
all right. Well, we kind of let the cat out of the bag right there. We do have a winner, and we'll address that with the answers after we do the rest of this. Let's kind of stay in order here. All right, so we're going to go on and we're going to talk about Elf and Chatterbox News. This is just kind of a portion of the show where we talk about upcoming events that we feel are important. We don't cover them all. Uh, if it was all in front of me, I would, but a lot of things we don't know about or don't hear about. And this is just what's within our circle. Of course, we want to talk first about School of Santas 2024, Branson, Missouri, July 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. Keynote instructor is Jeff McMullen, recently inducted into the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. I got to tell you, Randy, and it's something I didn't talk about last week, but I've been to two of these ceremonies, and Jeff by far knocked it out of the ballpark with
That
his
was something to
acceptance
watch.
speech. It
Yeah,
was
that
phenomenal.
was something to watch. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. His words, every word meant something, and his emotion, and Deb, his wife, showing up at the very last second, it was a surprise. He didn't know she was coming, and it was one of those moments that we talked about earlier, tearjerker. It was a tearjerker. All right, so there is still a few seats left. Spangle says he's pushed that room around and took a stretching bar and stretched out the walls as far as he can, but he thinks he can get a few more in. He's trying his best to make it as big as possible. So if you have
Spangle
considered,
just appeared on watching here all of a sudden. He just appeared too. Spangle's out there.
well, yeah, just in time. What?
Gotta be pulling our leg.
they're going to put in a local Stuffer Santa store in the new Bucky's. Hey, who knows? Anything's possible, right? Speaking of, he's got his new beard products in. I don't know if any of you know that. We'll kind of plug that real quick here. But if you're looking for new beard products with 10, 15, 20 times the aroma, some are unscented. The ones that are scented are by far got the most scent I've ever smelled in any product. But anyway, check out that from Spangle. Who knows? They may put in a sample of that in the Bucky's too.
Man, did you see some of those suits? Oh my goodness.
He's got.
Oh, everybody saw the suits that were on Tuesday Night Live, but man, there's something else. Those suits were beautiful.
They are beautiful. Heidi does excellent work for sure. Charlie Johnson's asking Spangle which Bucky's. Herbie says wonderful beard products. Yeah, again he debuted those in Memphis, and a lot of folks were checking out them scents. That's for sure, as well as the white paint or spray for the beard. A lot of that was going on there too. Okay, Randy, what you got?
Well, we got the same couple I've been talking about a little while. Of course, we got the CPW2, the second, the advanced class is May 30th and 31st up in Clare, Michigan at the Reindeer Farm. It's the Jingle Joy weekend that MAPS puts on. Thursday and Friday is the CPW, which is an event for the class. Saturday is a free day. Yes, it's a free day up at the Reindeer Farm. Get your picture with the reindeer and everything else, but that's coming up the 30th, 31st, and the 1st for the Jingle Joy retreat there instead. Then, of course, I'll tell you more about the Red Coat, Red Suit Conclave coming up the first weekend in August, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Of course, we all know that F word. It's a free weekend. Of course, you got to pay for your hotel and everything else, but lunches on MAPS, and it's a great weekend of fellowship and all that. And that's what just, I know this is not coming up because this happened last weekend, but man, it was just great sitting down with everybody at lunch and breakfast over the weekend, just seeing brothers and sisters in red, just chit-chatting about whatever. It didn't matter if you were talking about home life or if you're talking about the business. It's just such a powerful and uplifting bunch of people that just thank you everybody for the weekend. It was great. And I wonder if I should post my graduation picture. No, I won't post it. I just teasing Deanna, and everybody about my 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 certificate. Just teasing them right now. It was a great weekend. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you.
You said there was
37 people were at the biggest
folks.
Santa Ana U they've had up in Birch Run, Michigan, which is we went to Bronner's, the world's largest Christmas store yesterday. Just spent hours walking around seeing, and of course it was great. It wasn't that busy, so it wasn't crazy busy at all. Walk around the store, but just beautiful. Everybody got there. Most people got there Thursday. I got there Friday morning, but beautiful weekend. A lot of learning, a lot of fellowship. That's just, I tell you, I love the classes, but man, it's good to chit chat with everybody. It just that just helps here so much.
And we want to give a shout out to Judith Broderick. It was her birthday, and so happy belated birthday, Judith. Spoke with her and Deanna at the hotel before the class started. So the funny part of the whole weekend for me was Kathy got a picture of everyone singing happy birthday, and Judy was singing right along.
Yeah.
About halfway in, she realized,
oh, it's for me.
Me?
It was funny. It was good.
She stopped singing and just smiled the rest of the way. So
yeah, it was good. It was
very good.
It was good. Yeah. So I didn't know until then that Deanna and her husband, they have a place here in Michigan. I didn't know they lived. They have a place up in the UP, which I didn't know that until then.
Half a year there, and the other
they're
half.
Upers, half a year in Arizona, which was interesting. That's a long ways from Arizona to the UP of Michigan.
It is, and but here's the thing: the winters are bad in the UP, so they go south.
So
where the winters are absolutely gorgeous in the Phoenix area.
Arizona, yeah.
Ain't asked for better weather in winter than Phoenix.
Yeah.
But the
So
summers are 110, 120. You know, so what do? They go
that's
north
a
where the
smart
summers
move. It
are
really is. You
absolutely
can do it.
gorgeous in the UP.
I
They
got to
got
give
it
them
going
thumbs
on.
up.
Yeah,
I did.
for sure.
It also was exciting that Anna's husband had open heart surgery in January, which I didn't know about. So
Yes, yes.
me and another Santa, um, Rance from Ohio, he had it a few years ago. So we were this little chit chatting
Zipper
about
club,
all what you go through in life
zipper
after you get
club.
that zipper, you know.
Now I got to tell you, Kim Golden, Deanna's husband, uh, the day that she was to leave to come to San Antonio for NPC, they had a doctor's appointment that morning. He was prepared to stay behind. He already had someone coming to look out for him while she was gone to come do the class in Texas. And at the last minute, last second, they cleared him to travel. So he came to San Antonio. Of course, he did take it extremely
Yeah.
careful and easy that weekend. Now it's a different story. Roll forward to Memphis. He helped us load everything back up in the car. He helped us all weekend long was doing something trying to help me and Scott with whatever he could. And we want to thank Kim for that. And Deanna, we mentioned uh, oh the trade show wives. We had the ladies all taking care of us. I mentioned this last week, but thank you for all the ladies that brought us something or checked in on us or water, sandwiches, cookies. We had a mound of cookies because everyone's bringing us cookies. So all right, let's move along, Randy, to our
Good.
upcoming guest and
Yes,
shows. I'll
sir.
start off, grab the first couple, and I'll let you
Go ahead.
take the couple after that. May 7th, that's tomorrow night. Chris Burton, he is owner, entertainer at PJ's Magical Events, located in Central Kentucky. He's a magician, he's a clown, he's a balloon artist, he's a puppeteer. He has a puppet, Splat, the platypus, that he performs with and going to be a fantastic show. It's probably going to end up being a fairly long show because we got lots of great questions. Now, I kind of want to give a shout out to all of his friends and Facebook friends and acquaintances that he has. Starting those first couple of years, we would go in and just go through everybody's social media, our guests to get the questions, and it was time consuming. And then I would get questions of why did you ask me this or why didn't you ask me that? So we said, okay, let's get the guest involved and let them be part of the creative portion of the show and let them ask, give me the questions, what they want to talk about, what's most important to them. So he was kind of at a loss. He didn't know what kind of questions he wanted. So he went on his Facebook page and asked his friends and acquaintances and family, help me out here. I need some questions. Oh my gosh, that thing went like it just kept growing and growing and growing. So we got a ton of great questions that were uh, given to him through social media, friends and family that are some really great questions. All right, May 14th, Jeff McMullen. We talked about Santa Mac earlier. He's, of course, a professional Santa and entertainer, Kringle University, former Regal Brothers and Barnum and Bailey clown. We're going to bring him on. He is keynote speaker, as we mentioned, up top there for the School of Santas. That night will be all about Jeff and the School of Santas and what all he's going to talk about for the School of Santas there. Take it from there, Randy.
Then on May 28th is Megan Price from Gig Salad. A lot of us are on it for many reasons, many different things. I do magic and clowning on it. Of course, Santas do a great job getting gigs on there. She'll tell us other ins and outs and way to get up on the list and everything else. So she'll talk more about Gig Salad or people that don't know about Gig Salad. Um, it's a good way to get your name out there. Actually, you can do it for free, or of course they do have a pay. So it's a great program. I got another one today for a show. I think it was like seven. Somebody asking about a magic show. I get them five days a week. I get an inquiry for a performance off of Gig Salad. So they're a good thing. So that'll be the 28th of May. Then June 11th. Boy, this is going to be a Kimmy Claus. Boy, she's tiring. She was at the Santa Ana U, and she is just a wound up ball of energy to keep things going. So she also runs the Peppermint Stick Report in another Zoom class strictly for Mrs. Clauses. No Santas allowed. But on that Tuesday night, Santas are definitely allowed on June 11th. It's just her Zoom classes and her Peppermint Stick Report that they have strictly for members. And she's got a really big following, and it's in the close to 1,000 or some 1,500. It's whatever. She's got a good following of people on that. So she's just a ball of energy. So don't miss Kimmy Claus on those nights. Again, it's meant for, like I said, I went to Santa Ana U mainly for Mrs. Claus, but no, it's not. It's we're all connected because we are in the holiday community. So we all can learn from each other. If it's Santa, Elf, doesn't matter. And so you'll learn from Kimmy, even if it's just a laugh. You'll learn that. Then and it's hard to believe thinking about this one would be what's up next is there's some weeks in between, of course, but Branson Live, because they're going to be a special show just before the School of Santa. So, of course, TNL is going to be there live constantly like they were last year, but they were there 2 weeks last year. 1 week is enough for Bob to handle and everybody else to handle this year, but there will be so much to preview a week before that to let you know what's going to happen there because Branson is nonstop between the shows, the classes, and everything else. So there's a lot to talk about, the speakers and everything else. And that's July 16th. There's a weeks in between when we will fill in those. We got people on the hook for other days, but man, don't miss them Tuesday nights. And again, they're on YouTube, they're on Facebook. Don't miss them. Watch them anytime. I like sitting in my living room on that 60-inch screen and boom, just relaxing and watching it. It's a lot of it's nothing but fun and education and connection with what we love to do. So
Now, Randy, the Branson weekend, I didn't think that Spangle could add or put anything else in for us to do during that time frame, but he has got it's going literally nonstop. He has added more stuff that he wants to do. If you get in early, he's got things for us to do. Of course, me and Kerr will probably be rolling in there either Monday afternoon or sometimes Tuesday. We're not sure yet. It's kind of debating there what we're going to do. Last year we rode in on Monday. I think the year before we rode in on Monday. So that's probably when we'll get in there. But he has stuff, instantly. "Hey, let's go do this. Let's go do that. He's a heck of a host and
he's
can
nonstop
really
too. He
can
just
really show
wound
you a
up.
new side.
That's Spangle, man. He's like the other day the phone. Yep, there he is. I'll get you. Yes, Spangle, I can talk. He goes, oh, was it early enough? Did I wake you up? No. He goes, I'll call earlier tomorrow. Thanks, Spangle.
Yeah, he really knows how to
Uh,
entertain, that's for sure. So anyway, the Branson live show from Branson Tuesday night. We'll have Jessica Rosa, we'll have Spangle on, and whoever else might be rolling in early. If you're there on Tuesday, hey, we'll throw you in the show. We'll have fun with it. So looking forward to that. All right, Randy.
all righty. The
Trivia
answer.
trivia answer. We know who the winner is. Go ahead and give them the answers here, Randy.
The answer is it says Memphis is mentioned in more than 1,000 song lyrics and titles according to Billboard, hint earlier, magazine, more than any other city in the world. Said city is named after an ancient Egyptian city of the same name, which also lied along the major river named the Nile. So it was Memphis was the city, over 1,000 songs, Billboard magazine, and the Nile.
And Charlie Johnson wins it. So, hey, Charlie, remember, it's 6 weeks now, buddy. But good job, man. He worked hard for that one. He had to keep going back. And I think, like I said, that last clue that we gave was the one that put him over the top.
We could have said Sean was on one at one time, but I don't know. Maybe she's still on that Billboard. Sean is. I'm not sure that's how. Sean did
That's
that
right.
Dennis commercial on a Billboard.
And I've I've got this mentioned for tomorrow night, but Jessica just put it up, so I'll go ahead and mention it again today, and we'll mention it again tomorrow night. But Jessica Rosen normally comes on the first Tuesday with her segment, North Star segment, that she does each month, and she's going to be doing those twice a month. She'll appear in person the first Tuesday. The middle of the month, she just sends in the video. But anyway, she won't be here tomorrow night because uh, her kiddo has an event at school that she needs to attend. So she will be on the 14th. So if you're looking forward to that, just remember she'll be on the following week, next week. Hi everyone. What Scott Becker say? Hi everyone. CPW Level 1 in Columbus, Ohio, July 27th, 28th. That's right. True is going to be there. Did you
Sean
mention
says
that
she's
today,
got
Randy?
another billboard going up. She's going to be on another one, Sean, as she said soon.
Cool beans. I like it, Sean. Very good. Okay, Randy, are you ready for the Santa Tip segment?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Angela, over to you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you again for joining me at Santa's Tips. Over the weekend, we, of course, fill in. There's so many things you learn at a school, but at an offshoot, I was chit-chatting with some Santas and all that, and they were talking about home visits. And of course, I brought up magic first and all that, but they said, what else do you do? Because I don't only do magic at it. So I thought I'd say a few things that I bring along also on a regular basis, or that's also good to fill time in. And these are just things that I found on the internet years ago that I just make copies of, and I keep them in a folder and I have them in a box. During the holidays, I'll put the box in the car. The things that take along to a home visit to take up time. I mean, it doesn't always have to be a home visit. It could be a small corporate event. Little things like this, like it's just a coloring page that you can give to the child. Then they come see Santa after. Mrs. Claus or an elf can come read this, and they can color it. You get to know what their name is. They know what, of course, what they want for Christmas. They draw a little picture. They color. It takes up time, but it also is that. There's so many things you can get easy on. Whoops, that's actually wrong way. I'll flip myself upside down. There we go. Little things like this to pass out or to take up time during, like I said, a home visit. You don't have to bring crayons. You don't have to bring paints. There isn't a child out there or a younger family that don't have coloring pencils or crayons for in their house. Of course, there's other things that are easy to do to take time as ornaments that you can. These are 3D ornaments that they'll color and cut and paste, which makes a very fun craft. Now, I only keep the two with me, Santa and a reindeer. It's the only ones that I've ever made. I think there's a bunch of others, but that's the only ones that I've ever done. But there's so many things that you can do to take up time, and I know this will bring back crazy memories for most of us. But a lot of children, again, don't know about paper dolls. It sounds silly, but you can print these out inexpensively in color. There's Mrs. Claus's, there's snowmen, of course, Santa, and then you just leave it with them, or you do the cutout then. And a lot of kids don't even understand. Children understand about paper dolls. That was, when I was young, that was a big thing to have a paper doll. But it's a fun thing to do. Then it's something they can play with and remember and keep. And on all these, I will show you in a minute here. We'll keep on going here. These are just a few of my ideas that I have all the time. If I can why are my fingers not working as usual? Crossword puzzles. A lot of children don't get crossword, and this is the one I use here is a very easy crossword puzzle. Everybody knows the answer. Like the first one, you leave milk and blank cookies. So this is probably the easiest crossword puzzle I have found for children. It's all very, very quick answers. to do a crossword puzzle. And a lot of children don't even do crossword puzzles, but it fills time. It gets people connected also. Or word search. The olden days word search, they had those books like crazy, word search. Um, we've got this to our fingertips on the internet, that you just make copies, and then you can put your promotional material, your name in the bottom if you want to, and all that. So just do that. And of course, good old fashioned coloring pages. um there, of course, we all know about certificates that you always leave, then a naughty, or this is on the nice list. um but just so many things on the internet that you can find that don't really cost much. You print them out. What is a printout sheet? 8 cents. After you get a few, whatever, hundreds made, you have them made up ahead of time. You put them in a folder. You put them in a bag or a case, and you keep them in the car during the holidays. You need something, boom, you have it. Now I use them throughout the year, through here we go, through doing magic. But this is something I leave as a magical bunny helicopter. So it's not just for Mrs. Claus. I use it for, it's a cute little bunny, and you cut it out and spins in it, spirals down. Or I do these little silly little games, and of course I put my promotional information on the top, and that's just an ad for what you're doing. But all this stuff is free on the internet. It's all, and yes, I use that favorite F word again. It's all free on the internet for just us to search, and for us to use to enhance our performance, to add to our time. Because we were talking about, somebody said, well, how do you fill an hour? Oh my gosh, an hour? That's like there we go. It's over blink of an eye. If you set it up right. So there's so many things that can be done, and these things don't cost much. It gets them then connected. And if you do have to make an ornament, let's say, you make sure you go to the dollar store and buy the inexpensive no-cut scissors. You don't want to take any of those chances. But I don't even bring crayons and things like that, because the children have crayons to color with, or magic markers or whatever. So it's just, we don't always have to do magic to entertain. Just little things like that brings Mrs. Claus, an elf, Santa entertainment with the children. And they're just having a great time besides, because especially when they make an ornament, they put it together, little glue tape. It goes on that tree. And that's just a great remembrance. And that's what we want to do. We want to build memories, year after year after year. And if that then little ornament that they colored when they were 3 or 5 is there for a year or two, man, that's just cool as can be. So just a few ideas. Let's thank you guys for the weekend that made me think about this. I totally changed my idea. I was going to show some magic today, and some things to produce coins, but I thought, you know what? To show you how easy it is, I just grabbed those out of my box I pulled out of the closet here, pulled one of each out to show you guys. But there's just limitless stuff on the internet. Put your information on there. Be careful, because it goes to a child. You don't want your phone number on there, but because you don't want 2 o'clock in the morning, hi Santa. You don't want those. But it's just helps our presentation and our connecting with the children and the families, and the children are happy, parents are happy. We won. We'll be back again next year. You sold yourself. Like I said, there's lots of Mrs. Clauses, there's lots of Santas and elves, but they want to book you. And if you can do that little extra, do it. Thank you again very much. As always, I am so blessed and honored to be able to have some fun with you each and every week. See you soon.
All right, guys, how blessed, and I truly mean how blessed are those families that are enriched, not only their lives enriched, but even us, just by knowing Randy, and but fortunate enough to be able to have Randy come in and perform for them. I tell you what, this guy right here is top notch.
It's everybody else here, Bob. Everybody here puts that extra foot forward. They do. Everybody here blows me away. They're all, their hearts, their souls, their love for the children. I mean, it's and this is kind of a negative. It's intoxicating to me. it builds it really gets you going. And thank you folks for being a part of it. It's thank you.
Blessed to know you and are enrich you enrich our lives and like I say, those families that you serve, they are so blessed to have you. All right, let's move along. Let's go ahead and jump into our nightcap. We're running a little bit long today. We've had a lot to talk about, but this week's story is Frosty the Snowman. Everyone knows, the story about Frosty. I know, but something that I did in my very first season, which was really fun, and it's a great book to use if you do uh, daycares, if you do uh, home visits, wherever you have the opportunity to pull a book out of your book bag. Frosty the Snowman is a great one because the name Frosty the Snowman is mentioned so many times in the book. And if you set this up ahead of time, you can have, say, you've got 20 children. You asked each one of them to bring a covered book, wrapped book of their choice, set them down in front of you, and every time as you're reading the story, you mention Frosty the Snowman, they pass that book to the left. So everybody's book rotates around the room, and it is mentioned so many times that the book makes almost a complete circle
Wow.
sometimes. And at the end of the story, whatever book the child is left with in their hands is the one they go home with.
Wow. Very nice. Very
It's a
nice.
great and it's a surprise. They get to rip it open and see what book they got. It's a lot of fun. So I chose Frosty the Snowman this week. It's a great story, 24 pages. It's not that long. It is the one of the originals, and everybody loves the golden books, the illustrated editions. And so the one that I'm going to highlight today is that. And we're going to get Angela to go ahead and play the video.
I like when Santa comes, Snow Frosty comes to life in the TV show, and it's he goes Happy Birthday, and but he messes up. But Frosty says Happy Birthday when he comes to life in the cartoon version of that on TV. It's a good story. It's an uplifting story. It's a good, lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's a like I said, it's a great little book to use because of how many times Frosty the Snowman's name is mentioned. So it gives the children an opportunity to pass the book around. But if you haven't tried that, next time you have a gathering of children and you get the opportunity to go ahead and set it up, ask each child to bring a book and make sure it's covered. That way you don't know what it is. That's part of the surprise. But uh, Rex says Santa Dad.
Joke. It's supposed to be joke.
Oh, okay. So there's two parts to it here. I think he hit
Well, the first first one, he made a mistake on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So send a dad joke. Have you met Frosty the Snowman's parents? No? Well, you need to know the snowman's parents, Mom and Pop Sickle. Good one, Rex.
That's a dad
All
joke,
right.
all right.
All right. So anyway, if you don't have Frosty the Snowman in your book bag, it's something that
Get
you
out.
should consider. If you're like me, you got more books than your book bag will carry. So you may have to swap some books out, but always plan ahead. In your planning, make sure you have the appropriate book that you want to take, and just get out and read to the children and encourage them to read, because how do we learn? From reading and research. All right, Randy, how's the
Fantastic.
rest of your afternoon look? You gonna be
Actually,
busy?
I'm gonna head around the corner here. I'm gonna go to a friend's house and gonna do a little painting. Gonna start painting their little Florida room. Get it all. Gonna start putting that together for them. They're out in Colorado, so I get to go over and sneak into their house quietly and surprise them when they come home.
No rest for the weary. I know it was a busy weekend for you, so
Weary or wicked, one of the two.
just don't overdo it, okay? We still
No,
need you, man.
I'll do a little at a time. Yeah, it's gonna be great
Angela
weather.
Mack gets me. Thanks, Angie. That was from Rex. All right, guys. So hey, Mondays are fun. Mandy, I told you I was gonna mess something up today, didn't I, Randy? Mondays are educational. And this has been a very informative and educational show today. And we want to appreciate, again, let everyone know that we appreciate you, your participation in the hot topics, just hanging in there with us through Monday afternoons. If you like our show, tell others about us. Uh, let's see if we can make this community grow and help each other out. That's what it's all about. Micah, Mike Hutchins says Mandy and Bob show. Yeah, I'm having a hard time speaking to that. I don't know why. That was me and Randy was talking in the green room, and I was doing the same
And like,
thing.
oh, Bob, you'll be fine. And I thought well,
My brain gets ahead of my mouth, or vice versa. I'm not sure which. But anyway, thank
um,
you, Sean. Thank everyone for joining us today. Randy, have a fantastic week
you too.
and a better weekend. Love you, brother.
Thank
Love
you,
to
guys.
everyone. We
Everybody
appreciate
have a
you.
happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Don't forget to check us out tomorrow night. We got Chris Burton on. That's going to be a fantastic show as always. See you guys later.
I gotta get
Love
that
you
done.
all.